Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
All right. What day is it today? Thursday? All of our guests today are brought to you by the Vancouver Giants, and those guests include Farhan Lalji, standing by. The G-Men are at home at the LEC for a pair of games this weekend. Saturday, they take on Kamloops at 7. And on Sunday, the Giants face off against Spokane, 4 o'clock puck drop. Don't forget, you can enjoy a family post-game skate as well. Head to VancouverGiants.com to get single-game tickets, flex packs, and more. That family skate after the Sunday game, not the Saturday
Always a fun event.
Canucks over the Predators by a score of 3-1. Here to talk about that and about Super Bowl 59 from TSN, Farhan Lalji. How are you, sir?
What's up, boys? Hey, so I'm having a little technical glitch, which you're not seeing on your, because you guys are seeing me fine. Mm-hmm. But I only see like the left side of my phone, which where I do these things on. So I'm seeing Donnie, but I'm not seeing Dolly. Now,
that's a good thing.
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
Yeah,
he's
just leave it there.
He's still employed here, Farhan. Don't worry.
Okay.
He's still here.
Let me check on that.
Okay, so Canucks.
Is he wearing a Hawaiian shirt?
No, it's Thursday. Yeah.
It's
you're
Fridays.
You're going to hear it from Ray.
Huh?
Yeah, you're going to hear it from Ray.
No.
Why?
Why, Rick?
Pay
attention.
Once a month, I got to wear a Hawaiian shirt for Ray, but I forgot today.
You promised, too. He's going to grow you, man.
Get going.
Okay, hey, Farhan, they've won 3 straight. How do you explain all this and last night's victory amidst all the chaos?
Yeah, look, some of it is scheduling, right? Like the last couple of teams they played haven't been very good. I do think that the chaos was calculated, right? Like I truly believe if you're Jim Rutherford, you're probably looking ahead at the schedule. And look, I know Gary's been trying to get a hold of him, so it's not like there wasn't some serendipity to it. But you probably look ahead to this and think, okay, well, maybe we could win a couple here. But regardless, people talked about Jim Rutherford taking his clothes off. I think he forced Pettersson and Miller to take their clothes off because you can't hide, you can't deny. You can no comments, but you can't run from this anymore. So I think this was really calculated. I do believe it got the attention of the room. Some people think it exposed the room and the room wasn't going to act positively to it. I think there's a level of embarrassment that comes with these types of comments. And I think it shocked these guys to a point, and he had got their attention. In terms of technically, I think that they're playing a bit more connected. I know that's a term Rick Tocchet likes to use, but you can see the way they're exiting the puck out of their own end. It looks a little cleaner, and they're getting good goaltending, right? I thought Demko was good yesterday, and I thought Lankinen was good before that. So when you add it all up, the offense hasn't been, incredible, but other parts of their game are good, and I do think the GM has their attention for a short burst here.
Paraphrasing, but Jim Rutherford is saying something to the effect that a trade seems inevitable. Do you still think that's the case if they go on some crazy win streak?
Well, look, I think it's going to put a lot more things in play if these two players start playing better, right? And I don't know that they're going to go on a win streak without some improvement in their games, right? So if that happens, it probably opens up the market a little bit. Might you get Francesco Aquilini in the background saying, no, don't trade these guys. We're going on a run. We're going to get into the playoffs. That certainly could happen. But I do think their intention is to trade one or both. I truly believe that they want to go in that direction at this time, one or both.
But you've coached sports as well. To put a winning streak together when there's adversity and outside noise, that's not easy to do. The fact these guys are on a 3-game winning streak is something else for me.
Yeah, look, it's a positive, right? And look, it's an 82-game season, so there's going to be some ebb and flow to it, right? They weren't going to go the entire year without being able to win back-to-back games. That was going to change, and they're incredibly healthy right now, right? Especially with Joshua back in. Like, what's left to complain about from a health perspective? So there's a lot of things aligned there, and it is impressive, right? Because this team had hit rock bottom, and Thatcher Demko talked after the game with Murph about having a team meeting, and I'm sure it's not the only one, but I'm sure the tone of this one might have been a little different in light of the comments. So it's a positive, but one thing, don't forget that Jim Rutherford said, we think we've got a handle on this situation, and it always crops back up again, and that's no different now. So you got to deal with it.
Yeah, hey, look, I fully expect one of the two to be traded for sure, and it might happen in the near future. Who knows? All right, let's talk about Super Bowl, the Chiefs and the Eagles. Everyone's going to pick the Chiefs just because. They're going for the third straight Super Bowl win. No one's ever done that. What are your thoughts, and who are you picking?
I have a tough time picking against Kansas City, but I think Philadelphia's better. I think they're the more complete team. And if Jalen Hurts plays the way he did in the NFC Championship, and there's no reason to believe he can't, they're pretty good, right? Now, there are some spots at the second and third level defensively against Philadelphia that you might be able to get something, right? But their defensive line is so good. They can pressure with 4. They don't have to blitz. Their offensive line is so good. They can protect the passer. They can consistently run the football. So it's a hard team to pick against, but I went with Kansas City at the start of the season. I went with them at the start of the playoffs. I think they're better. They're better coached. You've got 2 incredible defensive coordinators here in Steve Spagnuolo of Kansas City and Vic Fangio for Philadelphia. But boy, when the chips are down and the games are big and Spags, the Chiefs always like to say, in Spags we trust. And I don't bet against Andy Reid, especially with 2 weeks to prepare.
Farhan, is it hard not to feel for Josh Allen? So much success in so many areas, except when it comes to beating the Kansas City Chiefs.
It does. It's hard to feel for him. Now, look, I don't completely feel for the Bills because they're Toronto's team, and you know how the two of us are when it comes to Toronto's team.
There you go.
So I'm not sitting here saying I wish they'd have won or anything like that. However, Josh Allen plays championship football. He truly does. And even in that moment where he was being chased for his life on that key fourth down play, he put a pass where Dalton Kincaid could have caught it. And if you look at his numbers and the way he protects the ball and all the good things he does in all of these losses against the Chiefs in the playoffs, Josh Allen plays winning football. It's other ends of this team that let him down. So I do feel for Josh Allen. And at some point, he's got to get his because he's a really, really good quarterback.
Meanwhile, can you see Russell Wilson joining Pete Carroll or rejoining Pete Carroll in Vegas?
Nope. Look, there might be other quarterback options. Could I see them taking a leap and taking Kirk Cousins off Minnesota's hands or taking a chance elsewhere in different areas of the market? But, Russell Wilson tried to get Pete Carroll fired, right? That's what happened, and people know that. And I think Carroll was diplomatic around the question, saying, we're not at that stage yet. And look, I think if anybody can handle it, I think it's Pete, right? He is a confident man, and I think he could handle bringing him back and a more humble Russell Wilson who's trying to salvage his career, as opposed to the Russell Wilson in Seattle who was playing for his legacy and wanted the offense to be about him, right? So could Pete get over it and do it? Probably, but I don't think so. I just don't think Russell Wilson's that good anymore, and I think there are better options for Pete Carroll, although there aren't many options.
And you're okay with Vegas hiring Carroll at age 73?
Yeah. Look, Pete Carroll's not going to be coaching there till he's 80. He's going to be coaching for 2 to 3 years, and I think what they need is a culture change. So I think that they need to find a way to just change kind of the professionalism and the attitudes in that building, and Pete Carroll can do that and pave the way for the next guy. You could actually be the rare coach if you're Pete Carroll that actually chooses to retire and not get fired, right? Even Bill Belichick got fired. Pete Carroll could change the culture and in 3 years say, okay, now I'm really done.
Off to New Orleans?
I leave on Sunday. Can't wait. It should be a fun week. And now the snow's all gone, right? So we're getting back to regular south weather. So that'll be a lot of fun.
We saw people skating in the streets there last week. It was something else. Safe travels.
It was cold when I was in Atlanta last week. It was chilly for real. So, it happens.
Well, if you need any advice on cold weather and how to deal with it, talk to Rick, because he lived in Fort St. John.
We lived up north, Donnie, in Dawson Creek. Me in Fort St. John, it was minus 40 up there. We didn't bitch and whine and complain about it like you in Atlanta.
I'm not complaining. I'm just pointing out the fact it was a little chilly.
Get a parka.
I'm the guy.
Surprising.
I was in Philadelphia, and I made a point in my pregame thing online where I just said, it's not cold here. And I'm from Vancouver. If I say it's not cold, it actually isn't cold.
There you go.
Buy a toque.
There you go.
Beanie, they call it down there.
No, toque. I love the word toque.
Why they haven't adopted toque is beyond me. Farhan, thanks for this.
See you, boys.